What made you snap and finally leave your wife? My parents stayed together for the kids, and it destroyed us. 20 years of screaming matches and broken dishes, and my dad sleeping in his car. My mom throwing his clothes on the lawn every few months, then taking him back the next day. They thought divorce would mess us up, but watching them tear each other apart every single day was way worse. By the time I was 18, I promised myself I'd never put a kid through that. Then I met Harley at a bar when I was 25, and we had one of those relationships that burned hot and burned out fast. 6 months of passion, followed by 6 months of fighting, followed by a positive pregnancy test. We tried to make it work for the baby, moved in together and bought a crib and pretended we were a happy couple. But we were just like my parents, fighting about money and dishes and whose turn it was to get up with the baby. Our daughter Aubrey was perfect though. She had Harley's green eyes and my stubby nose and this laugh that sounded like bells ringing. Even when Harley and I were screaming at each other, Aubrey would just sit in her high chair smiling and throwing Cheerios on the floor, but I could see it starting already. The way she'd go quiet when voices got raised, how she'd crawl into her closet with her stuffed elephant when doors started slamming. The breaking point came when Aubrey was 3. Harley and I got into it about something stupid like always. I think it was about me working late or her spending too much at Target. Aubrey was coloring at the kitchen table and suddenly she started crying. Not normal kid crying, but that deep scared crying that comes from somewhere primal. "Stop yelling," she screamed. "Please stop yelling at each other." That night, I packed my stuff while Harley was giving Aubrey a bath. I could hear them splashing and Aubrey giggling about bubbles. My chest felt like someone was squeezing it in a vice. But I kept thinking about my childhood, about hiding under my bed while my parents threw things, about failing 10th grade because I couldn't focus on anything except whether they'd still be together when I got home. I left a note for Harley saying I'd send money every month and she could have full custody. No messy court battle, no dragging Aubrey through custody hearings, just a clean break so maybe she'd have a chance at normal. Harley called me every name in the book when she found the note, said I was a coward and a deadbeat and exactly like my father. Maybe she was right, but at least Aubrey wouldn't grow up watching us destroy each other. I moved to a studio apartment across town and sent half my paycheck every month. Harley would text me pictures sometimes. Aubrey at preschool graduation. Aubrey missing her front teeth. Aubrey dressed as a princess for Halloween. I kept every picture in a folder on my phone, but I never went to see her. Clean break. That's what I kept telling myself. Clean break is better. 4 years passed like that. I threw myself into work and tried not to think about what I was missing. First day of kindergarten. First bike ride without training wheels. All the bedtime stories I wasn't reading. Sometimes I'd drive past their house at night and see the glow from Aubrey's nightlight in her window, but I never stopped. Never knocked. Clean break. Then last Tuesday, a cop showed up at my door at 7 in the morning. My first thought was that something happened at the warehouse where I worked. Maybe someone got hurt on my shift, but the cop's face told me this was something else. Something worse. "Are you Michael?" he asked. When I nodded, he took off his hat. "Sir, I'm sorry to inform you that Harley was found deceased last night. Apparent overdose. Your daughter was present at the scene." The world tilted sideways. Harley didn't do drugs, at least not when I knew her. The cop kept talking, but I only caught pieces. Needles. Been using for years. Neighbors called when they heard Aubrey crying. She'd been alone with the body for maybe 6 hours. No food in the house. Power shut off for non-payment. "Where is she?" I asked. "Where's Aubrey?" "She was at the police station with child services. They'd been trying to find next of kin all night. Harley's parents were dead and she had no siblings. I was still listed as the father on the birth certificate. Did I want to take custody or should they start looking for foster placement?" I drove to the station in my work clothes, still smelling like forklift exhaust. Aubrey was sitting in a little room with a social worker eating crackers from a vending machine. She looked so small in that plastic chair. When she saw me, her face scrunched up like she was trying to remember something from a long time ago. "Daddy?" she whispered. All those years I thought I was protecting her by staying away. Turns out I'd left her with someone who needed protection too. Someone who'd been drowning while I sent money from across town, thinking that was enough. Harley had hidden her addiction, just like my parents had hidden their misery, until it was too late.